Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's special episode of Google Plus Business Spotlight. We're really excited to have with us two amazing people from Google Plus, as we're sure you guys have seen them all over the place, as well as elsewhere on social media. So let's welcome. Actually, I always screw this up. So before we welcome our guests, I want to thank everybody. excuse me for. Tweeting about this special edition. Obviously, we normally on Wednesdays. Today we're on a Monday, and tweeting about it with the hashtag #GPLUSSPOTLIGHT. Want to give a shout out to a couple of people real quick. We have Eileen Smith, John Sheff, and Carrie Ann Foster. Thank you guys all for tweeting about the show to get the word out about Google Plus Business Spotlight. Stoked for that. Thank you. And those of you watching live, if you scroll back a little bit, I have a tweetable. I would love for you to click it and just, again, try and bring more people over here to the show to talk to our two guests now. Guy, I did this in my little preview. Guy Fitzpatrick and Peg Kawasaki.
No, that is not right.
That's not right.
That is not right.
It's Guy Kawasaki.
Nothing wrong about that.
From Canva, and just want to, thank you guys both for coming and sharing your time with us. We know you've had, this is your second show today, right?
Yep.
Yep. We're just gonna stay live now.
That's right.
We're gonna be like the Truman Show. We're gonna be on all the time.
So that's what we should expect next is 8 hours of just Guy and Peg, the Guy and Peg show.
That would be so fascinating.
We could do like Chris Pirillo.
What does he do?
Chris Pirillo is just 24/7. He's just sitting at his desk and I don't know.
Working.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So guys, we again, thanks so much for coming. So you obviously, this is not news. You two are part of Canva, right? Yep. And you've been blowing up the HOA scene pretty much, right? Talking about Canva and the amazing things that you can do with this tool.
Are you saying we're hoes?
I'm not saying that at all.
One of us is.
You'll HOA hoe us.
But you know what? I don't know about you, Ben, but I am curious. Like, how did you guys hook up with Canva in the first place?
Well, Peg has to tell that story.
Okay, so I was using Canva and using it to make things for Guy's account and keeping it a big secret because I didn't want anybody to know about it. So Canva actually saw a tweet of Guy's that had a Google Plus, I think it was one of the weekly Google Plus emails, and it had the image on there because when you tweet with images, more people see it, including people from Canva. And Canva was like, hey, Guy's using Canva. So they sent Guy an email, and they were like, hey, we see that you're using Canva. And Guy sent me an email, and it was like 11 o'clock at night. He was like, is this the company that you're always talking about? Because when I like something, I really, really like it. Either if I don't like it, I just don't use it, and I would never say anything negatively. But when I really like it, I'm like, oh my God, look at this thing I made. And so anyway, I thought I was pretty proud of myself for my Canva designs, which probably weren't even that good at that point, but I was happy with them. So anyway, Canva emailed Guy. He emailed me. He said, is this the company that you're always talking about? And I was like, this is totally the company that I'm talking about all the time. It's amazing because being in social media, we try out everything. We try out all different kinds of services, sites, and like I already said, if it's really good, we stick with it. If it's not good, then we move on and find something else. And Canva does a lot of things that I personally cannot do in Photoshop. When you do images and text, they look perfect. When you make a Facebook header and you post it, it looks pristine, crisp, awesome. Using the templates to make great things, go in, add a little logo. So for me, and the amount of content that I put out, it was a really great solution. Even like a team of designers can't keep up with the amount of content that I put out. Right, Guy?
That's right.
Yeah, I use a lot of images in everything I do. So finding Canva for me was like a revelation, and I think being a power user, I don't know how many other people post as many things as I do in a week. I honestly don't think there's anybody who does. Guy's theory is that I probably put out like what do we put out 90% of what's on the internet?
Yeah.
What was your guess? do something like that because I post for a lot of accounts and I curate a lot of content. So for me, Canva was just a revelation, and I loved it. So
I wonder how many people Peggy keeps employed at the NSA.
Hopefully a lot. Otherwise, I better get more interesting, right? That's probably the anything juicy. Unless they can hack my Facebook inbox notes, can they get in there? That's where all the good stuff is these days. Oh,
maybe they can answer the comments for you.
I know, right? Can you please?
That'd be great, guys. If you're watching the NSA, if you're watching, just let us know in the comments. That would be.
Say hi, please. Stop lurking. I love people who say hi. Eventually,
we think Ed Snowden is a hero.
Yeah, right.
But you brought up some really, really awesome points right there, Peg. Right? So you're using the product, number one, right?
Yes.
I mean, me, I know I can completely relate. I could not graphic design myself out of a wet paper bag, even if it was to save my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was watching the show the other day, the show that you two were on with Mia, and Guy, you asked Dustin actually himself as a professional designer, what he thought about it. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I thought was really inspiring is that you put yourself behind something that you believe in, number one, and more importantly, that you think can really affect people's lives. And that, for me, is what I love about Canva, is that I've always hated the fact that was one of the things that would stop me from doing a blog post, is because I couldn't design an image.
Oh my God, really? Seriously?
Totally, it would stop me. I'd be like, I've got this great idea for a blog post, but I don't have any kind of image for the header, and I'm not going to just go grab something and jank it up.
We're the opposite. We're the opposite. We see this great Canva design, and we say, "Shit, man, we got to write a post that can go, so we can use that design."
Yeah, actually, take that one step further, and we love the Kindle cover so much that just came out last week. That Guy and I are like, let's take one of them and write one of the books because they made really awesome titles up. So we're like, that'd be really fun. The book covers inspired us to want to write I don't even know what kind of novel it'll be.
Oh, like one of the samples? That's hysterical.
Yeah, they're really good.
So actually, can we sidebar for a second? Because Canva came out with Kindle covers, which is of interest to me personally. And I noticed that you guys updated. I got an email from you this morning, Guy, saying that you guys updated your ape book, right, to a new version. What's in the update?
Mostly we brought some stuff up to speed, some pricing had changes, some policies had changed, fixed a lot of typos. I mean, even a year later, there's still stuff that's coming out. Simple things like you send it is now hightail. It's not you send it anymore. So we like to fix those things, but the basic elements of ape remain the same. I mean, it's not like we're saying, oh no, now you should go suck up to a big New York publisher and hope that they don't get ejected by Amazon. If anything, what Amazon and Hachette are going through right now is going to make more people want to self-publish, right? So
I would think, and I mean, actually, on your recommendation, I picked that up before I started my pro tip series, and it was fantastic. What a fantastic read! So, would definitely encourage everybody, go get the updated version if you don't have it already. And, yep.
And you can get Canva. I mean, you can get Canva. You can get Ape for free right now. Should we tell them about this?
Tweet about it, right?
Yeah.
How do we do that?
What's the hashtag?
Canva Convert. So.
There we go.
Wait, I'll do something really sly here. Just hang on for a second.
Okay.
Oh no.
Peg's in the background saying, "Oh God, what's he getting me into?"
Yeah. Whenever I do something like this, I just let Peg clean up my mess.
Mm-hmm. The truth is really coming out in all these Hangouts, Guy.
I know.
But you guys have been dishing the dirt for the past week.
I know, we're an open book. Come on.
You have to admire my openness. I don't bullshit anybody, right?
It is fantastic.
Handbags, food porn.
The food porn is me, and the handbags are him. Wait, yeah, that's it.
Guy giving away phones.
Oh God, that was tough.
I sent the phone to Mia. I hope she got it.
She did. She tweeted it.
Okay, so can I Can I screen share?
Yeah. Over in the left-hand side, there's a little green arrow. Well, a green box with a little white arrow.
Yep. Okay. Okay, are you seeing my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet. You have to select one of the little windows that pops up.
Okay, now are you seeing my screen?
Yep. Oh, we had a double peg. Whoa.
Yay! That's what everybody needs.
So now you just need to switch over to the window that you actually, or a tab that you want to share.
There we go.
Okay. You see that?
Yep.
Love it.
Perfect.
Wait, not
Oh, this is
perfect.
great.
Wait. This part here pisses me off. I don't know why. I refuse to admit that I cannot make something that doesn't have a bad carriage return wrap thing in it. It's an insult to my design prowess.
You are such a designer.
Yeah. Okay, now, how's that?
Woohoo!
Love it.
Okay, so this is the Canva user interface, all right? So the toolbars on the left, a bunch of pre-done designs in the next column. You see the current design I was working on, and that arrow is pointing to a Twitter icon. So if people would go to Canva, sign up, create any kind of design, and tweet it out with Canva Convert in it, Peg is looking for the hashtag, and we'll send you a link to get a free copy of Ape. So anybody can do that today.
That's fantastic. So the
And I
hashtag
just-
Canva Convert. Hey, you know what? Can we hijack the hashtag and you can say that you found out about this on hashtag G+Spotlight? I don't know, maybe.
Go
That'd
for
be
it.
cool.
Go
Sweet.
for it. And I just
all
want
I
to
can
point
say-
out that Ape has 851 reviews, of which 677 are 5-star. May I just point that out there? And I don't have that many relatives, so it's not me gaming the system.
And the Peg-O-Matic machine, I can tell you, works.
Yeah.
Because
That
I put that hashtag Canva Convert out there, and in less than 5 minutes, I had Ape.
Oh, it took that long? She must have been at lunch.
Probably doing my hair.
Oh, and people ask, what's with the Canva logo there and the crosshatch? So whenever you see that, it means that you've selected a picture that if you were to actually publish, you would be paying $1 for that picture. So that hashtag and crosshatch goes away. But you don't have to use one of those pictures to get this free book. We just ask you to sign up for Canva and create anything, including your own images, and then we'll give you a free copy of Ape.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I do have a question. I'm not sure if anybody's asked you guys this yet, but one of the things that when Dustin and I were interviewing the CEO, Melissa, it was that she said that people are going to have the ability to submit their own images to get into the Canva marketplace, as well as, I don't know if you guys have talked about typefaces or anything, things like that yet. But what's the process for somebody to get, if they have artwork that they want to submit?
It's actually on the website. I believe it says contributors. People can put their photos in. I think you apply. Let me just pull it up. But I believe there's a link on the website. We can tweet it and put it in the event on the event page.
The goal is to create a real digital marketplace for Canva designs, basically.
Right. And where designers can create elements and all kinds of things that people could then purchase.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, because in other words, if 5 minutes is too long for you to make a custom design, we'll try to cut it down.
That's awesome. So like
or
all the
if you really
photographers
just
here at
aren't a
Google Plus
designer at all,
Yeah.
if you have no design skills at all. Okay, I'll put the link in there. It's Canva/designers is the website if somebody wants to pull it up right now. Or
Our
I'll put the
goal
link
is
in there.
Our goal is to enable people to create designs faster than you can boot Photoshop.
I just did that earlier today, so the race is on. We'll see.
It's great.
Is it still
Wait.
booting?
It's still booting. No, it's not still booting. I'd be really pixelated if it was.
So
Those
yeah,
processors can only churn so fast when you're booting up Photoshop.
Well, you know that Mac Plus you have. You know it's time to upgrade, man.
I'm a PC.
Oh, no
Runs
wonder
at
you
home.
can't design.
Really? You use a PC?
Oh my
I'm a
God.
PC, yeah,
We
man.
would have never agreed to this
Wait,
this
I have one.
hangout if
I
we'd have
have
known
one
that.
back there, but you see it's back there. It's not my one I use.
I'm PC and Android. Oh, whatever. I'm probably the minority here, but that's okay. You know, business runs on a lot of businesses run on PC. It's how I grew up. You know, it's too expensive to change over to all the software that I use.
At least we agree on Android. I love my Android.
Ask Stefan what kind of phone he got and who convinced him.
Moto X because of
Yeah.
Peg's. God, this is like a big walking commercial for you. This show. But
See,
yeah,
I have
love
the
my-
wood back. What color's your back?
Oh, that's hot. I got a black one. But yeah, it was when you first got it. When you guys went to South America, I saw all the photos that she was posting, and I'm like, wow. I'm not one of those phone fanboys, but I do like Android. But yeah, I'm not one of those people like totally gushes over phones, and I gush over this thing. It's fantastic.
I got a new case.
Oh, that's cool.
I'll tell you this. I was an iPhone guy since the first iPhone came out, and I'm just like Mia. I've got the Note 3 now.
The huge
Yeah.
note.
Yeah, I'm just not. I'm not sure if I like it though. It's so freaking big. But I love Android.
Is that the phone that comes with a walking stick?
Comes with a backpack.
I got my little walking stick.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But it's
So
actually
I wanna-
really useful.
If I can, guys, I'd like to kind of circle us back over here onto Google Plus, because you guys have brought up a cool point about this digital marketplace idea, right? So safe to say that the amazing number of photographers that we have here on Google Plus would be great candidates to to maybe participate in that kind of a marketplace. And if so, how do you think Canva might be able to reach out to them? Or, I mean, you guys doing any communities? Actually, let's talk about that. How is Canva using Google Plus, which is sort of parenthetically, how are you using Google Plus, Peg?
We are not doing a Canva community, and the biggest reason for that is because we have amazing customer service, and I'm talking amazing. Like, people email us afterwards, they tweet us afterwards to say how great the customer service is. So that needs to stay great. And I think if you have as a brand or a company, if you started a community, it could turn into complaints or people, looking for customer service, and they might not get an answer right away when they really need to be following the correct path, which is going through Zendesk, which is what we use. So the biggest reason is to ensure that our awesome customer service stays awesome. And I just don't feel like a community is the right place for Canva. If people start their own communities, that would be different. There is a Facebook group already that I know of that's a Canva fan. It's fans of Canva. Started a Facebook group a couple weeks ago, and that's people, they share all of the Canva content and they talk about stuff. I think that's a better use for a community, is if people, like my friend Kelly Lieberman, who I think you guys know, she has Pinterest community and she talks about Pinterest in there. It seems like it's more of that kind of thing. I don't really necessarily think that people want to connect with brands and communities. And as a brand manager, I do not want to just be babysitting a community, because communities take a lot of work. As I like to say, communities are like a puppy. They seem like a really, really good idea until you get the puppy, and then you have to get it up at 5, and you have to take it out to go to the bathroom, clean up after its mistakes all the time. So, and it's a long-term commitment. So, I just don't feel like that. If I felt it was a great fit, because I do love Google Plus communities, they are an amazing place to connect with other people, to talk with, but I feel like they're best topic-based on things that people like to discuss together, as opposed to brands. I don't know, maybe, do you guys hang out in any brand communities? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't, and I haven't seen any.
Some I think private communities work really well. We're both part of a couple of like beta testing type things for different products, and there's I think I understand what you're saying completely. Plus, there's a whole competitive atmosphere to it too, where people come in and they're not necessarily looking for to be a fan or to be supportive or whatever, but they're looking to prospect, and that
Right.
kind of
Or just
degrades.
their blog links.
Yeah.
The only thing I would have to say about that, though, Peg, is like we actually run communities on behalf of some of our clients. And one I can actually talk about is for a company called The Draw Shop. And they do these illustrated whiteboard videos.
Awesome.
They do them all by
I've
hand.
seen that.
Yeah. So, and they own the marketing and creativity community. So, and we started up that community because the goal is to get in touch with people who are into marketing and creativity. That's their target audience. So, and it's all about just creating discussion around marketing and creativity. And then, you know, if somebody is interested in a whiteboard video, then obviously the brand owns the community. Then go to the brand page and find out about it. That might be.
If we had 2 more pegs, we would consider doing this.
Well, you see, you got Ben to step
Only
on.
one peg in the
No, just messing with you.
Well, honestly, though, I see what you're saying, Ben, and I can see how that can be advantageous. But and again, that would be a consideration if our Google Plus page was not doing so amazingly well, because our Google Plus page is popular. So I think for a lot of brands that come on and they don't have interaction on their page, that is a good option to maybe meet more people. But our Google Plus page is on a roll. It's going up all the time.
So maybe here's a nice little call to action to people that are in the audience, and that is if you're a Can evangelist, go start a community about Canva.
Good idea.
You could be the first one on
Good
Google
idea.
Plus. Yep.
Good
but
idea.
yeah. So, but that's what I think about that. And I think if as a brand, if your page wasn't doing well, that would be a good place to maybe meet a bunch of people. But our page is.
In the previous century, when I worked for Apple, Apple never created user groups. All the user groups were from fans.
Right.
And it's actually better that way because they control it. They know what they want to do. They feel like they can be more honest with the the mothership than if they were part of the mothership.
Right.
So I think that's actually the better way. I hope somebody does create a Canva, Google Plus community. I mean, I'll be in there all the time, but I just.
But I agree. I think that it's best when it's other people. It's more open conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's better for the brand that way. I mean, that's a better way to show love to a brand, than to help run a community.
Yep.
So I guess that's an interesting point too. So you guys, so does Canva, and actually the two of you as well. I mean, do you participate in a lot of communities, or is it just like as actual users versus, just responding to mentions or things like that? I mean, because you're obviously you don't need to, right? You don't need to go to a niche-based, area to go find engagement and find new people to connect with. You're both at a point, and I'm sure Canva is getting very close to being at a point where they're just part of the conversation overall and don't need to be looking for anything new. So I guess where's your strategy in that sense? Does that make sense?
Well, I'm in a couple communities, and I have to tell you, Canva already is mentioned everywhere. Like, I'm surprised even myself at how much conversation is constantly going on Twitter, Google Plus, Facebook, and Instagram. It's like everywhere, even Pinterest. Like, people are sharing and talking about Canva. So we're blessed with people that absolutely love the product and talk about it and share their stuff. So starting out at that place and just moving forward as we unroll new features, we're lucky that way. So if it was different, then I probably would go and try to go in communities and stuff. But and for me personally, I am in some communities. I don't have as much time as I used to just talk to anybody ever.
So are you saying that Canva already had really good velocity as far as from a social standpoint before you got involved?
No, it had social presences everywhere, but it wasn't in the forefront. And so what they had is an amazing team with like amazing engineers, great ideas, and they were just working on getting everything out. They did not have marketing, somebody who just was doing marketing before Guy and I started. So,
yeah, basically. basically Peg and I are mere accelerants.
That makes total sense. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
I mean, with your background, Guy, I mean, you've been an evangelist for many different brands. I mean, you're for Motorola previously, right? Google at one point.
But this is the first time I've really like I've turned from chicken to pig in the sense of making breakfast, right? So before I would just advise brands, but now I kind of am inside the brand. I'm an employee, full-time employee of the brand, and I haven't worked for a company full-time since Apple, really. Or well,
Wow.
I started some companies, so I obviously full-time there, but it's been a long time since I've been a hired.
So what
Explain
gave you?
the chicken and pig analogy.
Yeah.
What is that?
Oh, I get
Okay,
it.
so if you're
Chicken's on
making
the outside?
breakfast,
Yeah.
if you're having bacon and eggs for breakfast, the chicken just drops the eggs, but the pig gives his life.
Okay, got it. Okay, thank
I'm
you
a-
for sharing.
I'm a pig in this deal.
I got that.
So in other words, you must really, really believe. I have to say it twice. You must really believe in the product and the vision.
I really believe. I think Apple democratized computers. I'm sitting in eBay right now. I think eBay democratized commerce.
Yeah.
I think Google democratized information, and I think Canva's going to democratize design.
That's awesome.
Fantastic. I got another question here for you guys. Talking about the explosive growth, and quite honestly, the fact that you guys have been on Hangouts for the last couple of weeks. So let's hit it. Has this translated? And you have an amazing group of people and everything like that. But has this translated? Are you guys tracking like how this translates into signups or sales or anything like that?
Yes, we get a little
Every day.
email every day.
Awesome.
Every day.
Yes.
And you know what? Hangouts and webinars are so effective. All the stuff we've been talking about, we finally got to do. In terms of social media, we had all these theories about how you should repeat your tweets and how you need to add a graphic to everything and how you should do Hangouts and all this kind of stuff. Well, in a sense, Canva and we are perfect for each other because Canva has given us a place where we can really do stuff. I could not do many things I was capable of doing for Motorola. It's a long story. So now, like once a week, Peg says, "Boy, the stuff we're telling people to do really works."
Well, I've tested the bigger theories myself. Like, honestly, I've done Google Plus for myself since the beginning, and I think I've built a pretty good presence. But it's much different and much harder to run a brand page. So it's not like you can guarantee to someone that you can grow their page. You can do everything that you know how to do, and you can work really hard, which, I can guarantee that I can work hard. But that doesn't guarantee that your page is going to do well. But all the things that I do are effective, so I'm happy about that.
So here's a question that may lead to a golden nugget. So return on investment, right? That's the key thing a brand always asks about with Google Plus. Because you can do an ad on Facebook and you can track it through to a UTM string and you might get in Google Analytics, for a small business that can't afford a bigger solution, right? Do the same thing with Twitter. Google Plus has been more elusive for people to be able to really track back that ROI, especially when it comes to Hangouts. When it comes to Hangouts, you might give out a coupon code and you'd be lucky if somebody puts that coupon code in. So if you could give a golden nugget to people as to how are you tracking the effectiveness, or are you tracking the effectiveness granularly down to, well, I was on GPLUSSPOTLIGHT, this drove 300 new signups, or I was on Mia Show and that drove 300 new signups, which drove X amount of dollars in revenues. If you kind of share some of that with us.
We don't analyze their stuff that deeply, Ben. I'm sorry to tell you to step on that because I know you guys are like analytics numbers dudes. We're like graph going up. We're like up. Like as long as onboarding is on the like train going up, and we just passed 500,000 users last week. So that's how we judge. Yeah, that's a big number. So We do monitor everything, and basically the things that I look at, we look at onboarding every day to see how many people are signing up. We look at how many people are completing designs. And then we also, personally look at like how many new followers we get around on different services. And I look at web traffic, because web traffic is our biggest referrer. Blog referral traffic is our biggest referrer, more than webinars, unfortunately. But webinars and Hangouts are very effective. So we keep doing them because it's getting the word out. Maybe someone's not clicking on the coupon at that time, but the conversation that it's generating all across Google Plus since we started doing Hangouts is amazing. Like, people were talking about it already, but when we started doing Hangouts, I honestly, I would think people would be sick of us by now, but people keep inviting us, so we're like, sure, we'd love to do a Hangout. That's just what we do. So, but web traffic is the biggest referrer, and we do get web traffic from Google Plus.
My approach to this is, my metaphor is a sperm whale. So the sperm whale takes in like 2,000 gallons of water just to get plankton. So that's my approach to marketing. I just like put it all out there and sort it out later. I'm the least analytics, quantified kind of person in the world. I just let it rip. And I don't know, it's worked for me. So.
Yeah, I think it's just a challenge. It's a challenge for smaller businesses to look at.
Well, I have to give you this caveat that a lot of this works for me because Peg is working with me, right? So, the metaphor here is that, well, two metaphors. So, number one, Peg is the Martha Stewart of social media in the sense of just like total OCD, anal perfectionist, willing to like clean the mushrooms one at a time, right? So that's number one. Second metaphor to embrace what we do is, think of 24. So in 24, there's two main characters. There's Jack Bauer and Chloe O'Brien. So I'm Jack Bauer, and I'm out there, and I'm shooting people in the leg, and I'm doing whatever it takes. And Chloe is back there on the headset saying, Jack, turn left. Jack, turn right. Jack, the card's not going to work. Jack, the guy has to call, sign in so we can insert the virus. So Chloe's making it happen, and Jack is out there busting heads, and that's how our team works.
Sometimes I bust heads too, though. Only when I need to, though. It hasn't been too often, but just, I can do it.
I think that's a powerful message for anybody who's looking at to see what the ROI behind doing all these Hangouts and getting involved in communities, or whatever you're doing as a brand on Google Plus, and that is that look for the momentum, look for the momentum, and just keep on going with your passion. And hey, as long as signups are still happening, things are going, then you're doing it right. Obviously, at that point.
Social media is a marathon. It is not a race. So if you're looking to do something one day and get tons of whatever, it's not going to happen. And if you have a great day, big freaking deal, because tomorrow's another day and you got to start over. So I celebrate each little victory. I'm excited about it. A number will come and go, but then it's gone, and I need to make the next one happen. So staying continually competitive with myself. That's what I do.
Every time somebody signs up for Canva, little angel flaps his wings.
Or a Justin Bieber fan dies. Just saying.
I don't know. Maybe people are making Justin Bieber. If we could get some Justin Bieber fangirls to make art, we may be all set.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Some Taylor Swift fans from Google Plus, because they're out there.
So how do you Peg? How do you differentiate the brand voice when you jump on as Canva?
I'm pretty good at that because I have different brand voices. It takes a little bit of practice to remember that you're not speaking as yourself, especially on Twitter when, if somebody's being, I was just going to say a word that I wouldn't really say on a Hangout. If somebody's being, a jerk, but another bad word for that, and you want to tweet them something like "get a life," you can't do that from the brand. So you have to just be aware. And on Google Plus, you know, you have to be like, you're only on that page, so it's very easy just to interact as that page. I think that just knowing what your brand voice is, and ours, Canva's brand voice is very similar to mine. It's just positive and, you know, fun. So it's not hard for me to do it. But on Twitter, it's much different. You need to, sometimes I actually just use a different service. I use Sprout Social, Stefan.
Nice.
Stefan's a big Sprout fan for the Canva stuff. So I know when I'm on Sprout Social, I'm speaking as Canva. Just that, it's just a mental reminder. Actually, Sprout Social, you really have to click on something different if you do your file setup correctly, which I did. You just have to be cautious of what you're doing. And honestly, I don't do a lot of stuff on my phone because it is easier to make a mistake.
Stefan, do you have like a lot of juice with Sprout Social?
Juice?
Yeah.
I'm just a huge fan. I'm also grandfathered in on an old plan,
On
so
the cheaper plan.
I am. I love it.
I cannot understand why using the Sprout Social Chrome extension I cannot manually add a picture. That's why I stick with Buffer.
Mm.
It's the only thing that you can't do on there that guys like.
Yeah, and I don't know how they just must have been somebody they hired from Apple that day said, oh no, people won't do it this way.
I'm doing it right now.
I told you could do it from Twitter and Facebook now, but not Google Plus, right, Stefan?
Oh, I didn't think of that. Hang on a second. Let me switch to Google
think Google Plus, and I think that it's just because of Google Plus.
Ah, yes, you can't do it on Google Plus, but that's because, okay, so here's why. If you're going to do the Chrome extension, you're sharing a link. You're not sharing a photo, so you have to share that type of post.
Well, but I mean, I'm in Buffer, and I throw away the automatically brought in photo, and I pick a manual photo, or manually pick a photo,
Yeah.
and I send it to Google Plus, Twitter, and Facebook. So somehow Buffer does it.
It may have something to do with yeah. Well, all right. Well, hey, Sprout guys, if you're listening, this is great feedback.
I already emailed them, and they responded.
This is great feedback. It may just have something to do with the weird way that the extension and the API works with Google Plus, but yeah.
I do think it's a Google Plus issue, not a Sprout issue, but hopefully they can update it.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you
think
mean.
they just added a photo on there, right, Stefan? Didn't they just do that last week, that you can just add a photo when you tweet?
Yeah. Yeah, you can just drag a photo right into the extension, but you're right, I switched over to one of my Google Plus pages, and that option did go away.
Yeah, it's not on Google Plus. I use everything extensively, trust me.
Oh, yeah.
Although I do want to have a hangout, Stefan, and have you give you some more tips, because I know you probably know a bunch more that I'm not doing. So.
Well, anytime, you know that. Happy to hang out with you guys. And actually, you know what? On that note, I think we're coming towards the end of our show here, and you guys have just been fantastic with all the information you've given us. I think we learned a lot about how, especially how Hangouts and just getting conversation going. I think if there's anything that's a huge takeaway for today for a brand is to try and get a lot of conversation going. And you can use Hangouts for that. You could use just get people out there to evangelize you, and the idea of user-created communities, supporting them however you can, I think is another big takeaway for brands trying to get some legs, whether it be here on Google Plus or any other community, any other social networks. So, you guys have anything else you want to add here?
Yeah, I just want to reiterate. I just hope brands would use Hangouts more. I mean, think about it. You don't have to fly to Las Vegas. You don't have to fly to New York. You don't have to do all that. You just, maybe you need one person sitting there and helping you, because Hangouts can get confusing. But we did a Hangout with the CEO of Motorola, with Marquise Brownlee, which was fabulous. And think about what that took. It took 2 computers 3,000 miles away with web cameras. I mean, compared to what? Compared to the $5 million freaking dollars you need to spend to make a press conference someplace? I mean, geez, what am I missing? And people are. I like to see the return on investment of a press conference. Show me that.
Yeah, really.
Show me the return on investment on the white wine and shrimp you bought for the press conference. Show me that. Then I'll show you Google Plus return on investment.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
I saw the one that you recently did there with Richard Branson, I think it was recently. Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
That was a really good one.
Yeah, what did that took 3 hours of my life. They sent the car. What the hell do I care? So, you know, I mean, jeez. Some people, they think too much, especially if you work for an agency. My God, so.
Oh yeah, getting agencies on board to do Hangouts is almost impossible.
Oh my God, they're like
scared
idiots.
of them.
Yeah.
They're scared.
Yeah, well, they don't want random questions.
Yeah, because, you know, God forbid Richard Branson, who's a freaking billionaire knight, can't handle a random question. Jeez.
You get good at deflecting, I'm sure, at some point, right?
I don't deflect. I just take them on.
I don't think there's anything that you've never not answered, is there? I answered everything except for the what's the best advice you got. That I was like, what is the best advice I got? I don't know, it threw me for a loop.
Repeat.
All right, Guy, here's a question then. What's the worst advice that you got that you actually took?
Ooh, worst advice.
Somebody once told me to leave Apple to start a company, and if I had stayed at Apple and not left, I would freaking be a billionaire today. Probably, I would. You know, I would be like Richard Branson and Ariana Huffington and Guy Kawasaki would be mentioned in the same breath.
They are all the time now. What are you talking about? You're welcome. You are mentioned all the time.
I love it.
Yeah, but it's always yeah. So Richard Branson and Ariana got Guy to interview them. I mean, you know, it's not quite the context of, oh yeah, here are the 3 random billionaires we know. So.
Yeah, but they picked the smartest, best person to interview them, and they have everyone to choose from in the world. So that's a huge compliment.
Yeah, well, I'd give $1 billion and trade off for that, but okay.
All right. Well, if I can find $1 billion laying around, you know, so you can switch places, then I'll let you know.
I just want to buy an Audi A3. That's all I need.
Just an Audi A3? That's
I
it?
thought you wanted a Mini.
I'm at eBay Motors right now. We're making bids right now in real time.
Awesome. Well, there's some Facebook stock you could pick up if you needed some.
Yeah.
That's true too.
Right.
But then I'd have to support EdgeRank. So.
Could you buy enough stock so we could actually control a little of our EdgeRank?
That's a good question.
You know, there's a good question for you, Guy. What do you think about EdgeRank? What do you think about? Come on, let's hear that.
I don't want to burn any bridges, but okay. So here's
Start
the thing.
off by saying we love Facebook and
yeah, we love Facebook. We love Facebook, but I have to say that I also understand that Facebook is a business and they have every right to monetize their business. I understand that, but I think that if someone volunteered and opted in to see what you're doing, they should be presented with what you're doing, as opposed to some algorithm figuring out if you really, 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 really wanted to see what Guy's doing. So beyond opting in voluntarily and manually, we got to figure out if you're really interacting so we can really send you something. I think that, you know, if people opt in and follow somebody manually, they want to see everything. And if somebody like me posts too much, then they'll unfollow me, and that'll be it. But to use some, you know, black magic to figure out who should see my posts, I have a hard time grokking that. So.
What was that one that we read the other day that said, like, of the 1,500 posts that you could be presented with, they show you 300?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, what happens when Peg Fitzpatrick becomes a grandmother and only, you know, 20% of her fans can see her baby pictures? How does that work?
I'll just keep reposting it. I'll post it at Stefan's wall personally. Actually, I think he sees all my posts. There are very few tricks that if you really want to see someone's stuff, you can click on the page so you get all the notifications, or you can add people to a special list, but I just think people don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
No, there aren't enough tutorials in the world for that kind of stuff, because people just, the general public, it's a different crowd on Facebook, you know.
Yeah.
When we were talking with the people from T-Mobile on our show, they were saying it's a different crowd on their Facebook as far as support goes than, you know, let's say Google Plus, where they're even finding about some of the new releases on phones before T-Mobile is. Right?
Yeah.
They're like, hey, you guys gonna get this? They're like, huh? Oh, maybe. We don't know. In the meantime, you have like the mother-in-law who just unboxed her phone, asking Facebook, you know, help for them on Facebook.
Okay, gentlemen, I need to go. I need to go, like, I need to evangelize eBay on Canva right now, okay?
Sounds fantastic.
All right, see you later. Thanks.
Thank you guys for your time. Appreciate it.
Bye.
And I guess, well, this was a nice subtle hint to wrap it up for today. And I want to thank Guy, obviously, and Peg, you too. Thank you guys so much for coming and talking. We had a nice informal conversation. I hope you guys got a lot of good information out of it. Obviously, a little different day and time. Right after we're done, I'm going to create our regular Wednesday event because I don't want to confuse anybody. But we have Neil Schaefer coming on the show on Wednesday with a special guest co-host, Mike Alton. So those, I just let the cat out of the bag. But those of you who are catching this later, you know, just make sure you come to and join us on Wednesday.
Neil
very
Schaefer
excited about.
is awesome. Maximize social business.
Yeah, and I'm so bummed that I'm not going to be there that day. But I'm going to be over in SMX Seattle. So
if you're in Seattle, go see Ben. If you're not, come see Neil and Mike and me at 12:30 Eastern on Wednesday. And so for the three of us, hey guys, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you around Google+.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Peg.